Holy cow! It's another tag. I am spoiling you guys. Hey there, storytellers. Welcome back to my channel. As you can tell from my intro, today's video is going to be another bookish tag. Today, I am tackling the Christmas song book tag, and for those who don't know, it is basically a bookish question based on a classic Christmas song, and you answer that bookish question. And this was originally created by Hailey in Bookland. I will link her original video along with the questions down below in the description, so go ahead and check those out if you're interested. But without any further ado, let's get into it. Question 1 is You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch, and this question is name a villainous character you couldn't help but love, and for this I am going to say President Snow from the Hunger Games trilogy. Look, I get it, he's not a nice man, but something about his sass and his snark and just the way he chooses to present himself, it's kind of slick and slimy, but in a charming way, and I just really enjoy him. I know other people don't because he's a villain, but he was a lot of fun for me. Question 2 is based on All I Want for Christmas Is You, and it is what is a book you want under your Christmas tree? And for that, I am going to say Better Together by Christine Riccio. This is her second novel. I read her first, Again But Better, and really enjoyed it, so I'm very much looking forward to her second novel to come out. It's not a sequel, even though the titles are similar. Either way, I'm very excited for it. It's inspired by The Parent Trap a little bit, so that piqued my interest some. But unfortunately, I don't think it comes out till like later next year, so it won't be under my Christmas tree, but I wish it was. Question 3 is inspired by Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and it says, name a character that overcame obstacles and learned to believe in themselves. And for that, I am going to say En Salta from the Shadow Game trilogy by Amanda Foody. When we first meet En, she's this scared, kind of lost girl looking for her mother in a city she has never been to, and it's full of people and a world she does not understand. It was not the way she was raised. She was brought up a lady. She's prim and proper, and it's not until she sort of embraces her more sinful side that En really learns to overcome obstacles and believe in herself as an individual and not as a person she thought she was. Question 4 is based on Santa Claus is Coming to Town, and it has 2 parts. So part 1 is what character do you think would be at the top of the naughty list? And for that, I am going to say the Mage from Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. He is meant to be somebody who leads the world of mages. He teaches their children, and he's creating this next generation of mages. He's supposed to be Simon's mentor, and Simon is the chosen one destined to save the world of mages. But you find out the mage, the sort of headmaster mage, is not as trustworthy and honest as you expect him to be, and so he's been a naughty, naughty boy. And on the flip side, it is what character do you think would be at the top of the nice list? And for that, I'm going to go with Chris Chambers from The Body by Stephen King. Chris comes from a bad family, he's given a bad lot in life, and at one point he attempts to live up to it, but it's really not an honest attempt. He definitely goes back on it and tries to make up for it, and he's just ends up being a really good guy. One of the lines that is used to describe him is something along the lines of Chris, who had always made the best peace. So that's all you really need to know. He's a peacemaking kind of character. He really does have a good heart, an honest heart, and he just wants the best for people, and he wants to help make that happen, and he's a very sweet boy. Question 5 is based on Frosty the Snowman, and it is what book just melts your heart? And for that, I have to go with Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. This is a contemporary romance, so I was a little bit hesitant to approach it because romance is not really my area, but it was being talked about left and right on the internet, and people were talking about how adorable and well written it was, and I just had to give it a try, and I'm so glad I did, because these 2 characters, Henry and Alex, they just melt my heart. I absolutely love them. They are hysterical together and so sweet together, and it's just everything, and it melts my cold winter frozen heart. Question 6 is inspired by Feliz Navidad, and that is what is a book that takes place in a country other than your own? And for this, I'm going to go with Love and Luck by Jenna Evans Welch. I haven't read this yet. I know it's a contemporary, and I know it's set in Ireland, so it's not a country I live in. Question 7 is, it's the most wonderful time of the year, and it's which holiday-themed book do you use to spread Christmas joy? And I'm going to admit that mine is a little bit cliche, but I have to go with The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe from the Chronicles of Narnia by C.S. Lewis. I read this for the first time in 5th grade. This is the whole collection, by the way. It's not just The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. But I read The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe for the first time in 5th grade, and I absolutely fell in love with it. We read it around wintertime, right when the remake of the movie was coming out, and it was just full of innocent fantasy magic, and Christmas is a factor in both the novel and the movie, so it does fit this time of year, but for whatever reason, my young brain attached to it as a book filled with just the earnestness of holiday joy, and so it is one that I would use to spread Christmas joy. Question 8 is inspired by Sleigh Ride, and it says, which fictional character would you choose to spend the holidays with? It does not have to be a love interest. And for this, I am going to go with A. William Wagner from Avalon High by Meg Cabot. He might be a little bit of a love interest, but also I think I'd just like hanging out with him. But he's the reincarnation of King Arthur. Come on. I'm gonna hang out with the reincarnation of King Arthur. That would be so awesome. Question 9 is inspired by Baby It's Cold Outside, and it says, which book that you didn't like would you sacrifice and burn to keep yourself warm? And while I am not one to endorse book burning, there is one that I didn't love enough to be super sorry to sacrifice, even though I wouldn't actually burn it, and that is The Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. I don't love this story. I don't hate this story. I'm kind of indifferent to this story, which is why it's my pick to sacrifice. I almost have more respect for books that I outright hate versus ones that I end up being indifferent to. That's just sort of how I am as a person, so sorry, JD, we're sacrificing your novel. And last but not least, question 10 is inspired by Do You Hear What I Hear? And what is a book that you think that everyone should read? And for that, I have to go with Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson. Now, this is a mystery novel, which I am aware might put off some people if you're not into the mystery genre, but I would like to state that while it has some slightly scary moments, some sort of off-putting moments, it is not an overall scary novel. It is more of a puzzle novel than anything else. It's got a dual timeline, so you get this girl, Stevie Bell, solving cases that are happening at Ellingham Academy in real time as she's trying to solve the famous Ellingham Academy case of the school's founder whose wife and daughter went missing many, many years before. It's so well written, and many of the twists, I suppose, are predictable if you're really good at reading mysteries or puzzle solving, but it's a really fun ride, and I don't think I've read anything that's dual timeline in this genre before, or much at all. I feel like authors are a little bit daunted by dual timelines, rightfully so, because if they're done poorly, you're not going to enjoy it, but I felt like this one is executed really well. It's a really fun trilogy, soon to be quartet, I guess. There's another book coming out, and I don't know if it's a direct continuation or if it's just sort of set in this world, but either way, I'm super excited, and if you haven't tried this yet, I highly recommend you do. But that is it for this video. If you enjoyed it, let me know by leaving a like down below, and if you want to keep up with me and all of my bookish adventures, you can go ahead and click the subscribe button. And I highly recommend that if you don't want to miss any more of Vlogmas, you ring the little bell so that you don't miss a beat, because we have like 5 more days left and then it's over. But I am going to go. I will see you guys tomorrow with a new one. Bye!